right. You can't make this shit up. I'm your host, David Washington of Jay in Washington. We are at the Oxford Sports Pub and Secret Society here in Altamont Springs, Florida. Hey, you know, let's just start right here. That's not the guy I want sitting across from President Xi or sitting across from Putin and trying to resolve what's happening in Ukraine. If you can't see around a corner, Bob Iger created for you. These were the words of presidential candidate 2016, Chris Christie, former governor of New Jersey. And this wasn't too long ago. And he was speaking specifically of Governor Ron DeSantis, who has not, as of yet, as I'm aware of, decided to officially join the race for the Republican nomination for president. And what Chris Christie was referring to is this continued fruitless battle with Disney, the mouse, Disney, and over the Reedy Creek Improvement District, now the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, or whatever he wants to call it. I don't know where this is going, and I truly thought that conservatives believed in less government, free market systems, capitalism, lend the visible hand of free markets move its way through the economy. And Ron DeSantis is going after a private company because they had the nerve to have a political opinion. I thought companies, corporations were people as defined by Citizens United and other court precedent. I thought they had a voice, and whether that voice is to support a particular cause or not, and that they put their dollars, their profits behind those particular causes or not. I just don't see a broader electorate. And I'm going to have my 2 cents because I know I've had my 2 cents involved in this matter before. But now we're going, this is DEFCON 5 retaliation by the governor towards Disney. I just don't see how what's happening, what the governor is proposing, what the governor wants to do, why the governor is attacking. I don't see how this is attractive to a larger electorate. If he, in fact, is thinking of running for president, how would moderate Republicans who believe in free market systems, who believe in less government that will be so small, so fucking small, you could drown it in a bathtub, how these individuals will want to vote for a Ron DeSantis presidency. This and some other issues are so far to the right of Donald Trump, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie. They said so themselves. Governor Sununu, they said so themselves. Will we trust a guy like this to be negotiating, to be having a conversation with the Putins, the President Xi's? Would you trust a president who will go after Philip Morris, go after Nike, go after whoever, whatever company, because they don't side with him, because their political opinion is different from his, because they feel that a particular policy or policies are just wrong or poorly written or not in the best interest of America as a whole. I get some of this legislation that the governor and his political allies are pushing through the legislature. There are some pieces of legislation that I understand. I understand it. I get it. There's some of the voter registration issues, some of the voter or election integrity legislation. I get it. However, then there's these other woke pieces of legislation that I scratch my head and say, is attacking or highlighting, let's put it that way, highlighting a particular group of individuals, a very small minority, in the spirit of protecting children. I thought we had parents for that. I thought we had guardians for that. I thought we had grandparents for that. I thought we had families for that. That kind of stuff, government encroaching even more so in our everyday lives. How are some of these policies really affecting my day-to-day life, my kitchen table issues? How are these woke policies and legislation going to lower the cost of eggs, lower the cost of gas, make it safer to drive my car from point A to point B? Will this type of legislation make my water clean or cleaner? Will my skies be clean? Will I be able to leave the balcony door to my apartment open and get fresh air? How are these book bans highlighting drag queens, drag shows? How is that protecting my children? How is that protecting me? How is that addressing my kitchen table issues, reducing everyone's property taxes? That's an issue. How is that going to protect me from another hurricane? That's an issue. How is it going to help people make their rent? How is it going to help me know that when I go into a restaurant, that the food is safe to eat? When I go to vote, that I'm not waiting in an hours long line, that when I do fill out my vote by mail ballot, that it's going to be safe, that it will be counted. A lot of this stuff, a lot of this woke legislation is not addressing these things. Again, there is some good stuff in some of this legislation that the current Florida legislative session is producing, and there's some bad stuff. It's the bad stuff that I believe is being highlighted by both sides, and sometimes it's taken out of context. However, when you have Representative Randy Fine talking about eradicating a group of people, that scares me. As a black man, Yeah, black folks have been down that road before. Women have been down that road before. That's scary talk. And that should not be coming from a legislative leader of the third largest state in the country. But you hear it more and more. Where is the Republican Party that Joel talks about? And the Democrats got a lot to do. Their voices are pretty much null and void. You know, when you don't go after your votes, when you don't put in the systems to win elections, when you do not finance those systems, when you do not create that network, when you do not work with your allies, you suffer like the Democrats are suffering here in Florida. You're non-existent. You don't matter. You got a lot of shit to do to get your ship straight. So shame on the Democrats. You know something? I'm gonna flip the script. A lot that's happening that people are upset with, Governor DeSantis, the Republican-led legislature, I'm going to put that right there on the table for the Democrats, right there at their feet. You guys are to blame. Yes. As a liberal, as a Democrat, you guys are to blame. Because you took for granted that people were going to just show up, that you didn't have to do the work, that people would just turn on their radios, turn on their TVs, and assume that there was a risk to their liberties, to their freedoms. No, you have to work for every vote, not during an election, but every freaking day. And what I see from my vantage point of what conservatives and Republicans are doing, they are working every day. They have a plan. They have a strategy. They go about that plan. They go about their strategy. And that's why you have a powerful governor like Ron DeSantis and a powerful legislature dominated by the Republicans, supermajority in Tallahassee. You created this, and more power to them. Elections matter. As far as Governor Ron DeSantis, I just don't see how moving so far to the extreme right, picking fights with the beloved Disney, and expecting to be a legitimate presidential hopeful for all of America. All of America. And right now, you're moving the campaign. Who's managing your campaign? Who are you consulting with? Because you may be popular among the rabid, committed, passionate part of your party, but this is not going to hold any weight with the larger electorate of America. And you will never, ever be able to pivot from where you are now to a more centrist position in the future. Florida is one thing. You have your fiefdom in Florida. America is a whole lot different, and you're not ready for prime time. Good luck. Serve your 4 years out as governor of Florida. Take the advice of the people who attended CPAC. I truly believe that former President Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee for the 2026 election. Is it 2026 or 2024? See, now 2024. See, on so many elections going on, so many campaigns. I believe it's going to be Donald Trump and President Biden, round two. DeSantis, you're having a good run. You know, do your thing in Florida. Maybe when you're 70, 72, you can run for president again. Maybe. But anyway, you just can't make this shit up. Please like, share, hit the notification button. Happy anniversary to J&W.